And then what did you know?
Trying to make a report for things about somebody on the phone had got proof of payments, like some messages been sent out and some payments on.
Okay, how does he not wear it? And then what did you know with?
Sergeant Lee Perry over at headquarters sent me. He said to let you know that I need to talk to a detective, and I'll be waiting here in the lobby.
What detective?
Any detective on duty right now.
Okay.
It's for the purposes of follow-up on a crime report.
Okay, and you said Sergeant Lee?
Yeah, Sergeant Lee Perry over at the downtown headquarters station.
And what is your name?
Enri.
And your last name?
Marini. Marini. Like marine, but with an I at the end instead of the E.
R-I.
N-I. Yeah.
I?
Yep, and then Enri is the first name, so no Y.
E-N-R-I.
Yeah, yeah.
And you said any detective?
Any detective on duty today, yeah.
Okay, do you want to just write down briefly, like, so I can get you to the right detective or no?
He didn't give me the name. He just said, go ask whoever's on the duty today and whoever the detective is on duty today that's available.
I'll be right back. Okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll wait on the chair.
You're welcome.
So we're just waiting right now for whoever the watch commander is to get out a detective out here to file this as a crime report and get that incident number. I'm waiting on the CF number from I haven't gotten the CF numbers yet. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting on, Haggis. I gotta have them take the crime report here, get my incident number, and then I need to wait for Sergeant Lee Perry of earlier this week to hand over the CF numbers. And then that'll be everything on the LAPD side. And then I gotta head over to the senator's office. And I got copies for them too. I gotta go over to the FBI field office and I got copies of them too. So this is Central Division that we're in right now. This is the Central Division station. Central Division oversees the downtown area, which is where Heidi works in. So basically the way it works is each of the community stations is technically where they would be the ones to assign a resource to investigate. In this case, since the perpetrator is a city official who's employed in the downtown area, the jurisdiction falls to Central Division, which is right in the heart of Skid Row. So that's who needs to take it.
I'll be with you in just a minute. Oh, no. I didn't know. Oh, okay. No. Ready? Sorry. Okay, where's my... Sir.
And then they'll give me an incident number, and then who knows what'll happen afterwards, but I just want to make sure they give me the incident number. That's my part done. Also, I gotta show you guys the outside, because ain't nobody really showing the heart of downtown on the regular day. It looks terrible outside, man. I ride here around a bunch, and I just never videotaped, but I gotta show you guys how it is outside. You're not gonna believe it. It's ridiculous. It's like it's a totally different world.
Do they got a number up there? Because sometimes you can get up there and... Yeah.
So for those just joining, I just gotta file this with Central Division. They're the ones to officially take the crime report. Headquarters told me they'll only take the officer complaints. So, OIG has this though, the city has this. The only agencies that don't have this are the Senator's office and the FBI. But they'll go ahead and get that too. Now we wait for like 2 hours. This is the not fun part.
Your copy? You signed it now? Okay. This is the contract, or you need it?
So for those of you that don't know what's going on, we're at Central Central Division LAPD station. I have to file my crime report here, and
Yeah, because I have to submit it
yeah.
to the state. State will review and then let you know.
So downtown headquarters said they'll only take the officer complaints, but they said go talk to Central Division for the filing of the actual crime report. And then once the crime report gets filed, they'll give me an incident number, like the detective's serial number, and
You know he transferred over there?
Okay?
Oh.
Because I talked to the manager, and he said yes. Yeah, he said that, but I need to give him a,
my day's alright, man. It just sucks doing all this nonsense. For those of you that don't know, this is a crime report on Heidi Feldstein Soto for who's the city attorney of Los Angeles for colluding with Scientology to selectively and maliciously prosecute criminally activists that speak out and criticize Scientology. And basically, she's got a long-standing pattern of doing this. She's done it to other people that have criticized her political allies. She's done it to Richie Sergienko. She's fired her top prosecutor, Michelle McGinnis, who is the head of her criminal prosecution branch. Michelle was a deputy city attorney for like 31 and a half years, I believe. She went through a grueling 4-round interview of consideration for the head of the criminal prosecution branch. There's about, I think, 5 other people who Heidi was considering. She chose Michelle McGinnis because of her credibility, her tenure, her skills and competency. And so then she decided to lay off without any, well, fire, I should say, terminate Michelle McGinnis without any such notice. And basically came up with a whole bunch of nonsense replies like Michelle is a bad employee when Heidi herself hired her for the head of the branch. And it's because Michelle spoke up about the year-long issue that has been going on with Heidi's tenure of selectively prosecuting people frivolously. And there you go.
That be over there screaming on 4th and Crawford, you know, I'm talking about that lady that owns the black man. She out here trying to replace everybody trying to get you started. She's the one that sits on her. And shit. And I can't believe she followed Ashley all the way to the house. She followed Ashley all the way to the house.
They're all busy. So,
I'll wait 2 hours if I have to.
so what,
Can you guys get my daughter and don't let her go with no one but
what your question is? Because
Yep, so it's a crime report against a city official. Correct.
Can you please not slam her?
I have the entire complaint as well written out, so I'm happy to hand that. I've got dozens of copies. I don't need it on my person. I'm happy to hand it off to you. And like I said, I'm happy to wait here for a detective. If it needs to be 2 hours, I'll happily wait the whole 2 hours.
okay, and it's, what is it? What's the?
Yep. So it's for the 1.5-year-long pattern of selective and malicious prosecution. That's the primary crime. There's secondary charges that I won't file for consideration, but that is the primary crime.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Ground zero out there, man. All right. Are they here?
Check, open who they are.
June 5th. Is that Cinco de Mayo right there? No, that's June. Oh, darn it. Of all the days, they close today. This is horrible. Ugh.
Maybe tomorrow they'll be open.
No. You can't give me a face sheet, can you?
For what?
For this guy? Traffic.
There's traffic, I can.
Now we wait.
I think the two first issue, they'll file a lawsuit against the driver.
No, you need a.
Now we wait.
Or just the first two pages, just the first page.
There it is.
Records number, you can call it. And you have to pay for the report.
Where?
Well, records usually that include, so I have to use the phone.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can, yeah,
But I always come get it from him.
well,
But he's not here.
yeah, but for anything to police reports, like requests, that would be or. Okay, do you have Hernandez's email?
So that's the one. And I'll just go on babbling about Heidi yet again, so we'll just reiterate, all right? So, according to the Michelle McGinnis case, Heidi has repeatedly made comments internally talking about how they don't prosecute corporate defendants. It's not something they do because really there's special interest she has with developers. Heidi comes from a background of banking. She's been a banking lawyer for her entire career. And according to some of the records from the Michelle McGinnis case, one of the accounting firms that she worked for as a attorney for was Arthur Anderson. That firm was the same accounting company used by the Enron Corporation during the time that Enron was going and committing wide-scale fraud. So that's the supposed background of Heidi Feldstein Soto. There's no coincidence at all that she's now leading the city attorney's office of Los Angeles. You don't just get the top level gangster position without doing some crazy shit. There's another interesting case with Heidi Feldstein Soto, particularly her divorce case, where her divorce case, she was sanctioned about $250,000 for maliciously litigating against her husband during her divorce. She filed over 400 frivolous subpoenas that were rejected. It ended up being that divorce case that is how we all know about her permanent ban from all Citibank locations on planet Earth. And that is how somehow, some way, because of course Heidi, somehow, you know, if there was ever a way, Heidi would figure it out. She figured out on how to make herself be banned from the very industry that she has worked her entire life in. So the divorce was an absolute just nightmare. I'm honestly surprised at how that guy even survived. So some of the things that happened in her divorce, she took money away from the community fund at the time that the divorce proceedings were going on, as well as even after a court order was issued telling her and ordering her that she cannot touch any of that money. She was withdrawing money from all sorts of other shared assets, and she was basically just burning through money that was not hers to burn through, and the court particularly told her that she can't touch. But she did it anyway. All this, right? All of this, I believe it was about 480, if I remember correctly. And the over 7 years that this divorce spanned, and keep in mind, these are people that have no children together, and it normally is a very clean cut for people that have no kids. And particularly in this case, you would imagine where both of them come from the banking industry, should have been a very straightforward case, but she's vindictive, and she put that guy through the ringer. Her ex-husband's name's Peter Gregora, and yeah, she bled him dry. I mean, this guy, because of the divorce proceedings, was forced to take penalties on his retirement accounts, where he was supposed to start withdrawing after he reached a particular age. According to the plan, he couldn't do so as a result of the. And so he was in a extremely lose-lose situation. He was the one that did file for the divorce. So that's the story of Heidi Feldstein Soto, an incredibly vindictive person that, you know, her malice knows no bounds. And so when you get into some of these situations, you got to understand who you're going up against. You know, the whole start to all this. Yep. Okay.
And then they'll come talk to you. If you can just please wait, and then they'll be out.
No problem.
He's okay.
So yeah, I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with, and the worst part about all this is that there's not really much on public exposure against Heidi. The most that people have talked about is her banning from Citibank, but not many people have covered all this other malicious prosecution that she's had, you know, of her own deputy that she fired, of activists that speak out against her political supporters. And the best part is that Heidi miserably failed in my instance because I recorded her, okay? I recorded her at a public event where she admitted that she knew the case was totally bogus and frivolous and it was never a priority. And she admitted on a recording that she had always known. At worst, it would have gone to diversion. And so that's the thing with Heidi. That's where she royally messed up. And she wasn't expecting it. I was at the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association public meeting where she was invited to speak as a keynote panelist, and she was video recorded, and they have it on her YouTube channel. I was there that day. It was a public meeting. I recorded a conversation I had where I didn't even actually ask her about myself. I actually began the conversation talking about Audit LA and this one curly-haired activist that she hangs around with. And then eventually she just started spilling the beans, just had total verbal diarrhea. And that's how she landed herself in hot water. She has a special prosecutor over at the state bar assigned to investigating her. She's going to have a crime report here. The entire city council members are on alert with her. The mayor is on alert with her. Her career and reputation after this is completely butchered by her own doing. Worse than it was already before. I'm just making sure that this gets on official government records so that there's no question as to, did I follow through or not? That's all this is. I don't expect them to do anything. I just expect them to take the filings and add it to the overwhelming stack of other filings that they have against Heidi, I'm sure. We'll see if it's enough to push action against her, but really the thing with Heidi is that the things she's gotten away with so far have been particularly all of the nonsense with allowing the homelessness fraud programs to go on for years. And so you add this onto her rap sheet, and it becomes evident that, she's not a person of integrity. She's not an honest person. It's in the public sphere now. And again, it's all by her own doing. It's all by her own doing. She has nobody to blame but herself. And she continues to dig an even worse situation for herself. And, the whole idea, right, with strategy is timing and surprise. And so that whole going to blue and making myself look like an idiot, that was, of course, of course that was strategy. Of course, make yourself look like a moron, see what the government does, and then you respond accordingly in a competent and smart manner. See what criminal defense firms do in the area when a situation like this arises. They're all trash, frankly. They're all trash. None of them will ever stick up to any of the frivolous prosecution of the government. And so that was the whole thing. And I had to see it for myself too. I had personal experience to see and have legitimate claim. And it's true. Criminal defense lawyers in LA are absolute hot dog water. Absolute hot dog water in LA. There are none of them will stand up to frivolous prosecution. They won't, because it'll cut them from any of the cases that the city feeds them and essentially stop the vicious cycle of frivolous cases being prosecuted, them getting their cut with attorney's fees. They're not going to do it. It's not unique to my case. It's just a systemic problem here. And frankly, it's a big moneymaker to go after the city. There's tons of civil rights suits that you could go after. It's honestly, I'm surprised nobody has tapped into it. But, soon enough, I'll be here. Soon enough, I'll be a licensed attorney and I'll be here. And, this is the kind of stuff that turns people into fanatics of, outing the corruption and following through with prosecuting the corruption. I mean, this is how it starts, with stupid decisions by people like Heidi, thinking that this is just going to go away. And it didn't, and it's not, and it never will. So, I mean, the worst part of it all is that it's not even the frivolous prosecution part. Heidi is leaving a legacy behind where she's helping a child trafficking cult. She's doing political favors for Scientology, okay, by filing all these frivolous cases, and that's her real legacy. Okay, that's the real legacy. Heidi Feldstein Soto is a super simp for Scientology. Heidi Soto, the simp for Scientology. Heidi Soto, Scientology simp. That's who Heidi is. That's her legacy. And I'm not the only one. She's done it too. She's done it to Jay, right? Never forget that. She prosecuted Jay frivolously, even after he was arrested on completely frivolous merits. He had to pay for that, right? Those lawyers' fees weren't free. The time and stress definitely wasn't free. The fear it puts into other people to set a precedent, that's a cost too. That's Heidi Feldstein Soto. She did it to Michael. Michael was arrested and held on a completely frivolous arrest for 3 days. Michael had his shoulder popped, and he already had a surgery on his shoulder where he never made contact on an officer, and he had to burn through attorney's fees where he was basically kidnapped. They had no jurisdiction to hold him for an entire 3 days, and there was an entire gang of officers present. None of them had their body-worn camera footage, or their body-worn cameras, excuse me, and all to beat a charge that should have never been charged in the first place. And that's because Heidi did it. She did it with my case. She did it to Michael. She did it to Jay. Yep, she did it to, I was going to say that too. She's done it to Scott. She's done it to Cameron. She's done it to Danny. I mean, you have over 5 victims of frivolous prosecution, all on incidents that were videotaped by multiple people via multiple angles that clearly show the violators are in fact not the people that were charged, but rather her political allies, which is Scientology. So whoever has a banner company and wants to reach out to me on making this happen, I want, during the election season, I will happily put together funds to pay for it, help pay for it. I want a banner that says something like Heidi Soto, the super simp for Scientology. That's what I want on one of the biggest highways. That reminds me of that one meme where it shows Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy, what's his name, Apollo, shaking hands. And on one side it'll be Heidi, and on the other side it'll be Scientology. They shake hands, and then in the middle you can have something like agreeing to traffic kids, aiding and abetting the trafficking of kids. That's her legacy. I will 100% make sure that never that never gets forgotten. During election season, it's brought up, and people will know. People will know what Heidi has done. The issue is not my 1-count misdemeanor that was acquitted. It's aiding and abetting and cover-up of child trafficking. That's Heidi's real crime. In addition to the trillions of dollars that have been laundered through the fraud of homelessness programs. Okay, that's Heidi Feldstein Soto's real crimes. The laundering, the aiding and abetting the laundering of money through homelessness programs, and the aiding and abetting and cover-up of child trafficking by prosecuting those that speak out against Scientology. Those are her 2 crimes. And the mechanism through which she does so is, of course, the selective and malicious prosecution. So that's Heidi Feldstein Soto in a nutshell. And I'll keep saying her name. Heidi Feldstein Soto, aiding and abetting Scientology to traffic kids by suppressing the voices of activists that seek to educate the public on Scientology's crimes. That's who you are, Heidi. I know you're watching this. I know your cronies are watching this. I already have all the handles, but again, none of that is important. The most important part is that this gets filed, it gets talked about, that an incident ID number gets created, and that your chances of any other office are permanently burned. That's the real damage here that you've caused yourself. There's no other office you're going to get into. There's no promotions. You're done. And your deputies, because they tell me a lot of stuff, your deputies are sick and tired of you. Utterly sick and tired. You refuse to prosecute the Wendell case too, Heidi. I haven't forgotten that. You refuse to prosecute Wendell. Okay, that was a major slap in all of our faces. You refuse to prosecute Wendell. You refuse to prosecute the person that violently attacked Chris. You refuse to prosecute the bald guy who pulled a knife on people back in November at the info center. You refuse to file charges on Lydia Reynaldi for beating up an activist. This is Heidi. This is the story of Heidi Feldstein Soto. You know? So, welcome to your own reality, Heidi. This is all by your own doing. And I've got you on recording, and you know I do. I've got you on recording admitting that this is a frivolous case. Yeah, the Wendell situation shall never be forgotten. That thing haunts me every day. I personally called Hollywood Station. I went direct, and I got a hold of them. I got a hold of a sergeant, and I'll never forget. She was watching the streams, and she knew. There was video evidence submitted, and this dude literally was swinging a sword. Decent exposure in front of a minor deliberately. His property is found behind a gated fence that only if he was escorted personally by Scientology could he have gotten access to it. And it was clear that's the direct link. He's an agent for Scientology. They refused to do a PPA despite clear and convincing evidence, captured on multiple different angles by about a dozen witnesses on scene, and they let him go, even after submitting proof, right? Even after submitting proof that his property was found behind a Scientology-owned house. And Heidi didn't do crap about it. And you know what? I also know that she's instructing her deputies to not prosecute it. So how about that, Heidi? How about the fact that I've talked to many of your deputies, okay, and they have inside sources on the LAPD that tell me exactly what's going on, and you're not going through with it? How about the answer to that? What's your answer to that, Heidi? Because that's what the people want to know, Heidi. Why are you protecting a child predator in that case? And why are you protecting a child trafficking organization? Why are you deciding to go down in such a big crash out? I don't get it. I mean, that's your prerogative, right? It's your life. But you don't get to walk away from the accountability of those heinous actions, Heidi. The law will hold you accountable. And it's utterly disgusting what she's done. Really and truly. You know? So I keep saying, the whole issues of Scientology really have nothing to do with Scientology. It's the lack of prosecution, the lack of investigation, and the only agency / body that could ever prosecute any criminal, of course, is the government. It's the government. Particularly in LA, the way it works is the city attorney's office for prosecuting misdemeanors. Okay. And then, of course, the DA admitting on video that he has many special private interest meetings with members of Scientology, who is also refusing to not prosecute some of these felonies. I mean, Nathan Hawkman's his entire career will also be a legacy of doing the bidding of Scientology. I mean, you're telling me that they have enough time and resources to file these felonies in well under a year, but yet all the violent attacks that people have gone through in that year, you're not going to prosecute any of them? Get out of here. Get out of here. And same goes on the misdemeanors part. That's it's insane. It's utterly insane. Cam was jailed. Cam went to jail for a week. Josiah went to jail for a week. Danny went to jail for a week. Scott went to jail for a week. Think about that. And so that's what Heidi has done. She's ruined many people's lives. Say what you want about personal opinions. I've got many. I don't really care about much of any of that. This is extreme levels of government corruption. Right, and I want to be clear about Josiah's case. He got lucky, and it's not unique to that law firm. Criminal defense lawyers in LA will not do jack to help you when it's situations like this, particularly so when it's situations of where the case is clearly frivolous, it's clearly all bogus, and it's clearly orchestrated by the DA's office and or the city attorney's office with colluding with people like Scientology. They're not going to do jack for you. It's just how it works. You got to understand that. It's not unique to my case or Josiah's case or Scott's cases. It's how these lawyers are. Maybe in the sea of crap, there might be about 3 criminal defense lawyers. And you know what? I actually went through with it. And you know the law firm I tried getting a hold of? It was, I forget his last name. I think it's Crump. Benjamin Crump. Ben Crump was the same guy that prosecuted the George Floyd case. And you know what he said for my case on the criminal side and even the civil side? He said, nah, we're good. Nah, we're not going to take it. They don't care. LA lawyers are utter hot dog water, man. With the exception of an extremely small set of people. And even then, most of them are in particular areas of civil law. Vast majority of them do not handle, they don't handle criminal defense. And so, it's how it is. You got to understand what you're going up against. And it's not unique to you either. That's what you got to understand. Criminal defense firms in LA are trash. It's how it is. It truly is how it is. And there's a good reason for that, because if they're not, then it disrupts their money supply. That's why. People don't understand how LA works. They really don't. They really don't. People do not understand what and how LA is and works. They don't. It's very different out here. Like everything you think you know, just throw it straight in the wastebasket. It's not how it works. At all. So, take that for what you will, but that's a fact. That's how it is. Yeah, it's just how it is. And the ones that do some level of, I would say, air quotes, activism are the extremely high-end, high-priced ones that work namely for celebrities. And ain't no way any average person, and even above average person, would be able to afford them. And they're not going to do much effort for you, because who are you? Who are you? And people just don't get it. But that's how it is in LA. It really is. And anybody foolish enough to not want to understand that is in for a real world of hurt in LA. Because the city, it's very easy to get yourself lost in the city. There's millions of people here. And it's very foolish to think that, you know, your name will be that much revered and spread. There's a very, very short memory around LA. It's just how it is. I mean, if you haven't heard some of the stories that Go Puppet talks about and the dirt he has on city council members, Go Puppet gets constantly harassed and his house vandalized by agents of the city all the time. This dude has his water main pressure controller tapped and broken into. He has people breaking into his house and harassing his employees at his law firm. People don't get it. They really don't understand. And so to be anything but diligent and smart and on top of your game and doing the research on who these people in the city are, you're asking for a very bad time. A terribly bad time. An absolutely horrific, nightmarish time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had to go back and forth and literally in writing, right? I have pressure on my attorney saying, hey, like we agreed to this, you're going to do this, and them not doing it. I mean, it's a matter of money and equal parts they don't care because it's another client, their life is not impacted, they're still held in the good graces of the city. But once they do take, like cases like mine, but once they do take that one win where it's clearly in the, in the defendant's favor and they go against the city, well, they're not going to take any other people because they don't care. They don't care because that disrupts other flows of revenue generation for them. It's very naive to think otherwise. So you gotta be smart with this stuff, man. You can't. And then just so people see. So that's Sergeant Perry. Email him letting him know that, hey bro, I haven't forgotten you. I'm waiting on my CF numbers, man. Checking my batteries just in case. I'm glad I got my spare battery here too, man. I knew it. I called it. I'm like minimum 2 hours. Somebody said punishment for getting the right results. The answer is yes. Correct. punishment for getting the right results is the answer. You nailed it. That's exactly what it is. And anybody that doesn't understand or refuses to believe that, they have no business ever getting into LA. Absolutely no business. Zero business. You know, I think a lot of people, particularly through this protest movement, because, you know, Scientology really was just a medium, right? It opened the floodgates to understanding different parts about the city, but a lot of people, I think, have begun the disillusionment process of understanding how utterly effed the city is and how deeply criminal and how blatantly and overtly criminal it all is. So yes, it's exactly what it is. Law firms will get punched for getting the right results. It's why even for money damage suits where there's victims of LAPD or some other, you know, corrupt government agency, you also have to be the perfect victim, right? You have to lose a loved one that's not just a cousin, but it has to be a sibling, right? It has to be a parent. And it has to be the perfect scenario, too. It can't just be that you lost them, okay? You have to lose them where the scene is so grotesque, where they fire, you know, 50 rounds on them, even after they're long dead and apprehended. They fire the 50 rounds on them. And it's a big scene where not only that, but you have to have a large showing of force of other officers also responding on scene. And then and only then do you have a good chance of getting a payout. But your payout will be a settlement. The city will settle. And no lawyer will take it all the way through to get an acknowledgement of the city for what they did is wrong or the cops is wrong. You will get the settlement, and that's the best that any law firm will do for you, and frankly can do for you. That is how it works. Do not expect anything else. And there is a list. There is a list of which lawyers you can use for such things to get that favorable outcome. Any other lawyer, and you will not get such favorable outcome. So welcome to LA. Welcome to LA. And that's why I keep saying, regardless of your opinions on them, think from everything I know and from everything on the inside that I know, particularly, I think I deeply worry about what they're going to do to people like Scott, because he's going to be in for a real world of hurt. A major, major world of hurt. And that's just what it is. That's, you know, don't shoot the messenger. That's just what it is.
Oh, another thing I forgot. Because last week, this week I carried my backpack away from me. And my laptop and my iPad and a passport and social security number on the bag. And then when I visited to Tokyo, I was
So, what a great way to start a Thursday, right? What a great way to go about a Thursday. But at least you guys know, right? At least you guys know. And now that you know, I hope, right? I hope at the very least it equips you with the knowledge to understand the scumbaggery and the competency to navigate through it. And understand these sort of procedural things are necessary. You have to go through it. You have to. You have to go through each of these stupid little administrative things and everything else doesn't matter. That's the biggest thing out of all this. Everything else does not matter. The city doesn't care. Other people don't care. None of it matters. It's all stupid. It's all useless. It's all a waste of time. Nobody cares. And that's just what it is.
So you say, like, if I have done something,
Welcome to LA, y'all. The funniest part is I had a lot of people tell me that actually lived in the area that, I've been here for such and such time, and I never thought it was this bad. And it's like, that should tell everybody else something. That should tell a lot of people a lot about how uninformed even LA residents are. It's not enough to say, oh, the government sucks and oh, government bad. You got to understand the details. The devil's in the details. How do they do it? Who are the actors? When do they do it? Where? That's the important part. You got to understand the specifics.
so if I report loss, then in case it's cited later,
Because otherwise you're
so that was.
you're just a fool in water. So
But they can do that for a car, they can do it.
and when I was having my interview with Chanel, that's exactly what I talked about. It's not about what's it's about, are you part of the city attorney gang or not? And if you're not, then you're going to have a hell of a bad time.
But they did a audit with no time of the thing I sent off. I fixed it and was
I've got like a backlog of 50,000 other stuff that people have told me about other areas around LA. And it's just never ending out here, man. Which is a good thing in that regard, because there's always stuff to report on, but it's like, on the same hand, there's not many people doing this kind of investigative and reporting work. And look, they're messing with me. It's all psychological warfare. It's been an hour. It's been an hour waiting. An hour waiting, man. One full hour of waiting. Probably be another hour. I'm just glad I ate. I have snacks. I got water. And I got my battery. Might as well read what this says. Already got you guys in here. What else we got to do, huh? Alright. So, introduction. This action arises from a pattern of coordinated misconduct, constitutional violations, and abuse of authority by members of the Los Angeles Police Department's Northeast Division, acting in concert with official and agents of the Church of Scientology. Yep. So, under color of law, defendants, 4 uniformed officers and 1 detective, knowingly and willfully deprived the plaintiff of his civil rights, targeted him for selective prosecution, and facilitated the unlawful obstruction of public space by a private religious organization without legal justification, valid permit, or public accountability. Despite the clear internal LAPD communications acknowledging the illegality of Scientology's actions, LAPD officers repeatedly responded to private off-the-book calls, which is what I'm alleging, from Scientology personnel to intimidate, coerce, and threaten members of the public, particularly the plaintiff, who peacefully opposed and documented Scientology's blockade of the public right-of-way. These officers failed to verify permits, destroyed body-worn camera footage, filed no police reports, and refused to disclose the basis for their interventions. Even worse, Detective Ishmael Penato later fabricated material, facts, and sworn statements and omitted exculpatory evidence to push for plaintiffs' criminal prosecution, all without supporting evidence of ownership, damages, or criminal conduct. So, plaintiff was the only individual criminally charged out of numerous similarly situated individuals in an apparent act of retaliation and favoritism. The charges were ultimately dropped after the case was exposed as meritless, but not before plaintiffs incurred significant legal costs and endured months of reputational harm and emotional distress. This seeks redress for the constitutional and statutory violations committed by the named officers, and for the failure of the LAPD to uphold its duty of impartial enforcement of the law. And these are the people. So you got Penato, he's the detective, and then these are the 4 field officers: Galindo, Barajas, Garcia, and Castro. So. And then we date back to the June the 2nd, where Scientology blocked the public right-of-way on Catalina Street by installing the wooden stakes. Is all they done. Danny's live stream actually had it captured very well. And it was actually Danny's video footage that helped save my ass, as well as the tip I had into where Heidi would be at a public event. So, Danny saved my ass. At some point, when I see Danny in person, I'll thank him for saving my life. If you guys thought Hollywood was bad, take a look. It's way worse here. And I know they're in the background right now, farting around with their buddies, giving all panicking on what they're gonna say and do and how they're gonna say it and in what fashion and all that jazz. Who knows, we might get lucky. We might even see AirTag Al come out here and make an appearance. You never know. You never know. And for those who don't know who AirTag Al is, it's Al Labreda. He's the guy that was sexually harassing. Can't forget her name. I know she was I believe she was Lillian Carranza. There we go. Putting an AirTag to track her movements. right, charging up, man.
Es que mi familia. Y eso es más que tome.
Ahí me pusieron como Cristóbal López, a lo mejor pues, yo creo que en brazalete que me dieron, me habían puesto creo 4 de junio, algo así.
It'd be interesting to see who we get. I'm pulling up the roster for Central Division. So, by division, we have a breakdown. How many cops? Central has quite a few. Let's see which of these guys we get. Go. Detectives. So there's quite a number of detectives. That's good. Yeah. Are you one of the detectives?
I am the only one today.
Hi, my name is Henry. I wanted to file a crime report. It's on the city official, and it's on a city official. So the
City official?
Yep, correct. So the crime report is against the city official.
Okay.
The city official in this case is Heidi Feldstein Soto. She is the city attorney of Los Angeles. And the charge that I'm complaining as a primary is selective and malicious prosecution.
Okay.
I have the words written down, so no worries about. I have all the words that I wanted to say written down, so no need to remember all of it. But the long and short of it is that I beat a criminal case where she prosecuted me. She has done a favor for Scientology. I have her on a recording, admitting as such, and I want to file charges against her for in support of charges being prosecuted against her.
Okay.
Right. So I want an incident number for the report. I'd like your card, and this is for you. I have tons of copies of all this. These are exhibits supporting the statements that are made and the exhibits received as part of the discovery going through my case.
Okay. Well, let me get you some. Let me get your business card first. Somebody said it was Henry, so I apologize.
No, that's all right. Yep. And I talked to Sergeant Lee Perry. He took the complaint against the officers who were colluding to write frivolous and perjurious police reports. Early this week, he said. So I don't have the CF numbers yet, but I did file the officer complaints.
You filed the complaint.
Correct. Right.
Earlier today. Sometime.
Yep.
It's been done.
Yep. So the officer complaints are all set.
Okay.
This is just the criminal complaint against the city official.
And she is the city attorney.
Yes, Heidi Feldstein Soto.
Okay. Let me grab your business card. And you said these are being submitted.
Yep. So these are all copies for you. These are
To go
all
with the crime report.
right. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Give us a minute.
Yep.
Y se marca por ahí de vuelta y si sale que es de una estación de un equilibrio físico. Por eso que quería, le dije, ¿por qué no quería venir? Vamos a ver.
Y el señor de arresto dijo, ok, dije, yo estoy trabajando, dijo, ok, ahorita vamos por ti. Y no sé que ustedes no hablan. Por eso vine a ver y disculpaba aquí cerca. Creo que pero después va a seguir.
Al marcarle que sale ahí, dice,
Sí.
De hecho, yo ahorita no tengo cargo.
Sir, have you been in contact with the Inspector General's office at all?
Actually, yes. So I served them the same copies of the letters, and I attended the police commissioners for the last 2 weeks now. And I spoke to about 4.
I'm just trying to make sure that there's no report with the Inspector General's office yet.
That I'm not sure of. I
haven't
spoke with
filed
I spoke with them. I'm not sure whether that means they generated some sort of ID number for reports on their end, but
Give you one.
they did not give me any such number.
Sounds good.
No, es el 79-51. Ustedes ahí no marcaron. No, perdón.
Son esos dos, ellos básicamente donde yo estaba, ellos fueron y me golpearon. Y ahí ellos me traen, me están video, me están arrastrando. Porque yo ahí les digo que llamen a la policía. Yo ya estaba de acuerdo porque yo sabía que había sucedido ahí en la pelea con los parejas. Y ellos me agarraron a golpes ahí y me llevaron. Pero ya la policía le estaba tomando los datos ahí a la persona, a mis parejas. Y ahí fue donde hasta allá fue donde ellos me llevaron.
Es una mentira.
Todo eso dieron a la policía.
Ok, gracias. Y los detectives le van a llamar y le van a decir, le van a dejar un voice message, pero no a una grabación.
No estoy seguro si le digo que...
No, entonces no es nada. No, yo creo que es fatal.
No, le digo, vamos, porque van a checar en la zona y pues te van a
Se golpearon bastante de aquí. Pero no estaban en el líder, como de golpear, pues estos los policías están para descargar a la persona.
Y de mayo 16, cuando me pasó, a ese día, hoy, necesitamos para...
Es que tuve que checarme los estudios de estudios y tengo cáncer y durante la detención hice todo y tenía unos estudios y no me sentía yo bien, la verdad, y la situación como es
Yeah, just put it on generic communication with an officer on the site and the officer. Yeah, you can come anyway. Yeah, anytime you go.
I will go city hall. Y vamos, los cursos no están verdes.
creo que tal vez necesito regresar con el papel que me dieron de la
Nombre, apellido. No, te hago curso ahorita, ya tengo un apellido. Sí, acabo de salir de la cárcel de 17 de marzo. Sí, ya estoy saliendo. No, te preferí con el... ¿Cuánto al 70? Todo, ya está en todo.
Ahí cerca, ahí cerca trabajan mis hermanos.
De 70. hubiera avisado antes. Sí, era de 87.
Sí, se llama. Gabriel.
Sí. No, ¿cómo se llama? No. Sí, como ahí antes del 90 años. Ajá, un cigarro de marihuana y por eso me arrestaron y tuve que poner fianza para salir. No, para mí. Casi 20 tiempos. A lo mejor me cambió el nombre.
Look at that. 3 o'clock, man. It's already 3 o'clock. And like 50 other things to do today, too.
Here, are you kidding?
Ahora puedo bajar. No me parece barato. Sí.
¿Cuál es su verdadero nombre?
Gerardo Cruz Solís.
Ok, Alejandro.
Gerardo Cruz Solís.
Gerardo. Ese es su nombre.
Ese es mi verdadero nombre.
No sé por qué sale como Alejandro.
Pero ese es el verdadero nombre, así que no me
No, I just started it.
Febrero, ¿no?
There he is. Oh, hold up. No. Come on. What a legend.
No, ok, le agradezco mucho.
Yo quería venir a ver que todo este video. Digo, vamos, no quería ver, pues vamos a ver. Además, venir en persona.
No, pues es de lo que estoy tratando.
No, no tratando, tiene que ser.
Ok, gracias.
I think tomorrow we only have. Well, actually, while we do that, that guy. Was him. So he's a Detective 3. 37452. Elbin, Detective Elbin. Yeah, it's a pretty good salary, man. Pretty good salary. Pretty good.
Brittany, it's morning.
Oh, you went? You went?
What happened?
Down here? She said so.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, the, downtown? Oh, Chinatown.
Where was it?
But I live in the Chinatown.
But what did you go? I don't think he was here.
It's not here?
I don't think so. You got an address?
Go give some support to the event. I'll be there. Probably be talking about Heidi while there. So, yeah, I was like, I think she has a link up. So, there's the link for Audit's fundraiser. Somebody said it'd be quicker to join the force. That's true, man. That's true.
Address? There's Firestone. This in here?
I've been thinking a shirt guy, and I know he's getting close enough to graduation soon, where eventually he'll be shipped off to whatever agency needs him. He's getting close to it. He's getting very close, and honestly, I worry for him. As stupid as he is, he has zero. He has zero guts, and they're gonna make an example out of him really quick. And I know he doesn't want to acknowledge that, but it's true. Shirt guy is in a prime position to be bullied and hated in his time in the force, and they're gonna brainwash him, guaranteed. Hopefully, all the critical thinking that we've helped him develop in all this time will help him not fall into that trap, but
You done already? You done?
so we'll see though.
I said, please, I haven't got up to the window yet.
We'll see.
The one on 60.
I'm just waiting for the detective, yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been here a while. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
You where?
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm new
Where?
to, so my ex, passed away.
Okay, good.
Those we was written on.
Clarify, sir, your note here indicates complaint, people interchangeably use complaint with police report.
Police report complaint, correct. That's exactly what I mean. It's
A complaint is handled by internal affairs, which you've already done.
right. So I want to make the crime
You wanna
report
make the crime
particularly.
report.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Let me hold on. What in it? But I'm not in this way on the PlayStation. You know, and you, there's no people in the family here too. How that happened. extra, but I just like, I'm the only family to
Oh, I'm actually surprised we still got 70% battery.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yep, 70% battery, man.
No,
yeah, like, okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, cool.
because they don't know fucking about laws and shit like that. They're fucking just talking and talking and talking. Sometimes it's fucking boring as shit. Fucking take our fucking job. My fucking mom's killed somewhere for fucking $100. The fuck is that? I fucking work my fucking ass off for shit like this. To waste! They got fucking houses on my fucking name. All of that shit. I got fucking millions and millions and millions out there. They don't want to come to me still? The fuck you think I'm a child still or what? No, because they're using that as a fucking, you think, that I fucking wanted to have in my fucking stomach, using it as an excuse. I can fucking take all money anytime I want, you just fucking want to block that shit, it's fucking be funny.
You worked at the Los Angeles Museum? Maybe, I'm just saying if there was nobody, what would happen? Yeah, nobody would.
I would think so.
Readers.
Welcome to Central. Y'all don't know, I'm about to show you outside after too, man. I'll show you guys. Welcome to Skid Row. This is the area that I've been hanging out for the long while since I've been back. You guys don't know the real downtown. Ain't nobody done any real reporting on downtown. I'll show you guys some of it though. I'll probably go on other of my channels, but I'll show you just for a bit. Once I make the report, I'll probably cut my film the police one, and then I'll show you guys on my this main one, just so you can see. It looks worse than the third world country, man. Cool scooter. I'll move out of your way so you get some space.
Yeah, that's how we do it. I don't think my back is good. I think because they took the money, and I kind of find out what my money is. And they kind of push it on to pay with that. Someone paid it. The middleman money.
Yep, agreed, man. It's all a giant criminal racket. Programs hiding behind homelessness initiatives designed to steal tax dollars. That's what it is. Yeah. It's because all the different industries, you got to remember, there's everything in California. There's tech, there's oil and gas, there's biotech, there's medicine, there's, at the very least here, just in LA County alone, right? So there's
No, I cannot, it belongs to an agency.
Sir, take it right now.
No, I can't take it, that's fine. Thank
Listen
you.
to me, take it with you right now.
And do what?
Eh?
And do what,
I'll
yes?
help you with your issues with it right now. So you don't need stuff with you.
It's better for me if I take it with me, you're saying?
Yes.
Because I don't want to throw it in the trash. It's a laissez-passer that belongs to an agency overseas.
Like I said. wait in line.
Politically, no background for it.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Okay? Wait in line.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it outside, thank you. I'm not forced to leave it here.
You just don't need stuff on the table.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
Are you still doing it right now? Okay, thank you. Thank you, that's all.
Anyway, I hear you. I hear you. I need to run through my thing to take the call, but I just want to go back to
No, this gentleman, sir. Come on over.
¿A dónde está parqueado?
Allá.
All right, sir.
Yep.
So I discussed this with two lieutenants, actually.
Okay.
Just now. What we're gonna do, sir, is we're gonna refer you to the state bar. We're not gonna take a criminal report against the city attorney. You're gonna be referred to the state bar to file any complaints about many attorney's office or the inspector general's office, which you've already told me you've met with somebody there or you've initiated complaints.
So I'm just curious about the lack of the crime report. You can take a crime report, whether or not you do anything with it is
We
totally
don't
up
take
to
a
you.
crime report just to take a crime report, though.
So is that the basis for the determination for not taking the crime report?
Well, there's an entity, the city attorney's office.
Right.
You're indicating that the city attorney herself maliciously prosecuted you, yes?
As one of many charges, correct?
Okay,
Right,
Okay.
which is a criminal violation, which is,
that's what you, that's your
That's-
estimation, sir.
right, that's why I'm here to file the criminal report, and whether or not your office does anything with it is outside of my hands, but it's your duty and it's my right to file it,
Okay.
and whether or not you do anything with
We're not,
it is
we're not
at your
gonna take
behest.
one. I'm gonna direct it to the inspector general's office and the state bar to file your complaint.
So, that part I understand, I just want to make clear, what's the basis for not taking,
What's
The crime
basis
report.
For a crime report?
no, not taking the crime
What
report?
do we need to establish a crime report? That a crime is occurred?
That's not up to me, I'm not law enforcement. My duty, right, and my right is to simply file the grievance, and then whether or not you act on it is off of my hands.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this is my information here, Detective 3, Quintanilla 37452. And then in the back, I indicated, you censored. You responded to the station and you were requesting a crime report,
I guess I have to come here
naming
to
the
file
city
a
attorney
report.
as the suspect
Yeah.
in a malicious
So I was
prosecution.
just driving and the car hit me from behind.
You're referred to the state bar and the inspector general's office, IG's office. I ran out of space on the card. That's the best I can do for you, sir. If there's
I
anything else
tried
I
to do
can
it
help you
online,
with.
but.
So you're not, so I just want to make clear
I'm not
again,
taking a crime
you're not
report.
taking the crime report. Now, you personally are not taking the
Right
crime
now, my
report.
head's pretty much right.
So,
I was
let me
parked,
talk to somebody else.
I just told you, I met with the lieutenant, both lieutenants.
My
Which
brother-
ones? I want their serial numbers.
Well, I don't have it, sir, but I can give you their names.
I want their serial numbers.
I'm gonna have to find it for you.
Yep, I want their serial numbers.
Give me another. Yeah, just like, you're gonna email. Yeah. Mathis? Okay. Yes. 30400?
We see that.
And, yeah, and there's 3, 5, 8, 1. All right, sir.
All right, sir.
Lieutenants Mathis and Stelter.
Okay, great.
Those are the serial numbers.
Okay, now
sir.
I want to file a
Yeah,
complaint
like, basically,
on
like, if
Mathis,
about
Stelter, and
internet
yourself
anyway,
for
it's
denying me my
Okay, that you'll
do
have
right.
to speak with the watch commander for.
Yep. So I want to file a complaint on you guys.
All right, let me check with, Center Traffic, they're supposed to be closed today.
Okay.
They're the ones that have the traffic reports. Okay. So let me see if there's someone in there, and I'll go back to you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, because I can't like change it afterwards, right? Like if it turns out that I actually have something.
You follow up with them.
Okay.
That report, and then you get, and then you get back.
Okay.
That's what you could tell them, hey, it's the doctor, if you go to the doctor.
No, it just happened to
So I'm gonna show you.
No, but I mean, I'm assuming the.
So that's the main guy.
Okay, let me go in there and see, because we're supposed to be close to
And then he allegedly talked to these two other lieutenants. They don't want to generate that instant ID and have her name attached. That's what it is. They don't want that name generated internally with an instant ID and build a rap sheet. That's why. That's what it is. Yeah, watch commander is gonna come out. So watch commander is gonna take my complaint.
So just out of curiosity, so I was able to chase them down and get the what's called the license plate number before they sped off. Yeah. Is that it? Just that and like a picture of the car?
Yeah. I don't know if you could upload a picture, but
I can't wait to talk to Sergeant Perry. Tell him what's what.
Okay.
It's all good. I'm gonna file an online police report anyway, so
Okay.
no matter which way, they're gonna have a report.
My name is Dave Diaz.
I'm not even mad, really. I mean, I suspected something like this would happen. I just wanted the dude to say for himself. I keep saying you guys don't understand how LA is, man.
Okay, perfect. And then when I generate the report online, will I have something that I can send to the insurance company? Because that'll be the next. Okay.
yes, most definitely.
I mean, the bumper is pretty much full, but I don't know if there's anything else with the car, so I mean, I guess I'll have to talk to the mechanic about it.
So you already,
Huh? No, I know exactly where to go, yeah.
any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, take care.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Want that CF number, boy? I want the CF number. CF number of containing all their names.
Con el que yo he tenido, quiero hacer el récord de
let's see what we got. We got behavior unbecoming of an officer and denying my constitutional right to redress my grievances with the government. And then a year from now, we have determined that because we said so, that in fact that detective was totally fine in denying you your constitutional right to redress your grievances with the government. And so therefore it's in policy. Yep, that's exactly what it is, man. Guarantee this is the first time I've ever seen somebody step in and say, I want to file a crime report against a city official. That's alright, like I said, the crime report will be taken. There will be an incident ID generated containing Heidi's name, as well as the names of all the other co-conspirators. There will be an official report taken. It will exist. There's 100% guarantee that will happen. The only thing they're doing is showing how stupid they are. And there's a public record of it now. I mean, I keep saying you can't make this up, bro. You really can't make any of this up. Definition, yeah, I agree, man. It is it is quite literally the definition of insanity. Quite literally. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna go back to the police board of police commissioners and talk about this. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. There's guaranteed that'll happen. I mean, the only thing he's looking for is to get a rise, you know, to get me to say something stupid. He was asking me to make a determination on whether a crime had occurred. And I just answered quite simply, that's not in my wheelhouse. That's on you. That burden falls on you. That's all they're looking for, man. They're just looking to get you all riled up. They're looking to get an emotional response out of you. It's like some of my closest friends and seeing their kids grow up. You know, it's worse than 5-year-olds, man. It's I mean, it literally reminds me of some of the temper tantrums my best friend's kids throw when, you know, it's stupid. Some guy just streamed from the Buffalo org. Oh, dope, man. Tell him if you see them, tell him to talk to the restaurant owner just across the street. I forget the dude's name, but he's a cool guy. He's been there for about 20 some odd years, and he has all the names of all the people inside the org, and he gave me some solid info. He's a chill dude. So if you ever see them, Amy, just let them know. He said why he run off. So that's what I asked him too. I just asked him to simply repeat it. He said, we don't want to.
No, 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 no. No, no, no.
That's what he said. So that's what he said, which is great. I mean, I just wanted to see what he would say, and I wanted to make sure that he repeated it. And so, what else can I do, you know? Other than record him being an idiot and saying it. So that's what he said, bro. He said that we don't want to. Go to the bar instead and go to OIG. Amy says he took the stream down and had comments disabled. Oh, that's weird. You mean the streamer, Amy? As in this Reggie guy or whatever took the comments off? Is that what he did, Amy? Or are you saying the video was posted by like a Scientologist and then they deleted that video? Oh, the streamer. Oh, okay. Oh, that's so they took the stream down and then disabled the comment. Oh, it was on kids mode. I wonder if they just didn't know what the hell they were doing. I wonder if it's a new person and they don't know. Because nowadays it makes you select the target audience, and so it won't let you actually go live until you select the target audience. But he probably thought that if he said no, then it would filter his stream out. But it will still show your stream to people under 18. There's another button that you have to click that says, you know, no, your video is not made for kids, but you want it to not be limited. It was oh, so holy crap. So the streamer, Amy, are you saying the streamer had a stroke? Is that what happened? The guy that was live streaming ended up succumbing to a stroke? Jeez, that's terrible, man. Yeah, that's terrible, Amy. Holy crap. I hope they're alright. Oh, he recovered? Alright, cool. Well, whoever they are, I hope they're back. I hope they figure out how to live stream again. It sounds like that's what he did, where he probably chose the button to accidentally put it in kids mode because he probably thought if he did, then it would be limited. But older man, okay, yeah, so I guaranteed it sounds like that's what he did. He probably fumbled around with technology and, you know, messed up. I mean, it happens. I've done dumb stuff like that too. I think at one of my first ever live streams when I was using my laptop, I cut the comments off and I didn't know how to do it. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know, the weird thing about the New York City org is they're like in the heartland, but there's no foot traffic through that org at all. It's weird. Weird. Of all the orgs you would imagine that would be most active, right? You would imagine Chicago, LA, of course, obviously Clearwater. And then, of course, New York City, just because it's, New York City. But that's not the case, as you've seen. The main cities are more or less dead. Oh, he was inside Blue? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, guaranteed the reason why he took the stream down from Blue is because they're going to try to catch him on a two-party consent charge. Yeah, guaranteed that's what he did. They're probably going to pull the old thing they did to Cubs. Cubs had his entire life ruined from the shit that happened to him. I mean, first of all, his lawyer was a POS. The basis for Cubs being able to videotape was, first of all, the hallway in which he was accessing was a publicly accessible hallway, and he was invited into the premises. So it's not like they didn't know. And from what I believe, too, it was one of their publicly scheduled tour events. Yeah, of course, because of course they didn't. Criminal defense lawyers in Boston and in LA are all trash. They're absolute trash. It's unfortunate, but it is. It's just what it is, Somebody said just go to the FBI. Oh, believe me, man, it'll be next, but it's not going to be the LA office for the FBI. It'll be another field office. LA field office for the FBI is trash. They're not going to do anything. They're probably going to reject me from even making the report in the first place, from even being able to talk to a field officer. I haven't forgotten. Why do you think these guys don't get prosecuted for criminal charges by the FBI? It's a PC. It's a criminal violation. It's not a civil. It's the conspiracy also. It's conspiracy. The conspiracy part is what makes it criminal, which is what I was trying to explain. Which was what I was explaining to him. It's the whole conspiracy. That's the criminal aspect. It's a Bain Act where you have government entities colluding and conspiring to commit crime. And the government entities, of course, being the LAPD, aka law enforcement, and the prosecutor's office. Besides, either way, it's a crime. It's a crime. And the city attorney's office also has full authority to prosecute misdemeanor crimes. Yeah, but even with the Bain Act, the city attorney's office has direct authority to prosecute such cases. It's fully within the city's discretion. Yep. So that's the whole point of the police report, right? The whole police report is simply just it's just a complaint, right? It doesn't matter police report or crime report. It's just a complaint. That's all a police report is, just a complaint letter. Police officers are nothing more than clerks, and they're supposed to take the filing, just as the court clerk, just as the city clerk. They take the filing, they give it a document number, an incident ID, and then that makes its way through the channels of communication for eventually being transferred over to the city attorney's office for consideration of prosecution.
Se mandó para acá, ellos para acá mandaron, o sea, la oficina mandó para acá.
Well, he can't take the complaint. Another one of his colleagues did, needs to. So him and the two lieutenants can't take the complaint. So somebody else that's not them has to take the complaint. And dude is trying to hide. He's like, I'll give you their names. I'm like, how about you give me their serial numbers? How about that?
Voy a renovar mi permiso.
It's part of the game, man. It's just how it is, you know. They're gonna give you the runaround. But everybody got a copy. It's like Oprah Winfrey. You get a complaint later. You get a complaint letter. Everybody has a copy of the complaint letter. And now they're going to have a copy of this video clip of the, what's his name? Albinon, something like that. What's this guy's name? And his name is Elbon or something like that. And at least we have the names of the other, you know, the other shitheads who, you know, we've got these two guys. So that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of why we do this. We have the names of two safe pointed people, right? The names of two other safe pointed people. Which is exactly what was the whole purpose of my case. To see who was the detective. It's two more names. Well, technically, detective's name too. That's three more names of people to add to this whole grand conspiracy. Right? Three more names. Where's this guy up to?
No hay.
Boom, we got dual chargers, baby. Both phones charging.
Una pregunta a Navarro, ¿tú vas a ir por eso? No, apenas voy a mandar la aplicación.
Worst case, I'll give about another couple more minutes if they come out. If not, I'll just go back to the headquarters and file my complaint. I just wanted to give it a shot, do everything.
¿Qué crees de ahí, Majo?
Give it about 10 more minutes.
Pero sobre esto, que por lo que vine, sigo proceder.
Sí, porque voy a dar la arma por eso. Ya me lo traes mi licencia de arma. Y no es un Sacramento aquí en ley. Porque eso llegó de Sacramento, las hojas. Yo mandé a pedir a Sacramento. Saqué mis huellas y mandaron cosas para allá. Y todo lo demás no se lo traje.
Ba-na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na-na. Change my mind. I'll give it about another 2 minutes. I don't want to be here all day. I'm already proving a point. I like even numbers though. I'm gonna give it to 2 more minutes. I was watching The Departed yesterday. Great movie, man. One of my favorites. Such a great movie, bro. Departed is such a great freaking movie.
Yes, sir. I spoke to some officers, three officers from the car, the man in the back seat, the man in charge, and come to this desk and ask you to speak to the captain. Speak to the captain, if I could speak to him. And that's what he told me to do. I spoke to some officers out here last night. They were stationed out here.
You gotta watch The Departed. It's a good story. Alright, I'm out of here. I spent enough time. Go file my complaints on these guys. Back when I'm at the headquarters station. I'm glad I got the incident though. That's all I wanted to get. It's on video. It's recorded. And trust me, I got a bunch more copies where that came from. Printer has been busy. So. Alright, I'm gonna cut off the other channel one. And I'm gonna show you guys Skid Row. At least part of it. Get you a real understanding of the real LA. At least downtown LA, that is.
About what's going on.
I'll put you guys here for a quick second.
How fast that can go?
What's that?
How fast that goes?
The legal limit.
What's that?
Whatever they say it is. Take care.
You must be a lawyer.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Alright. Show you guys Skid Row. Look at that. Looks like shit out here and smells like it too. Alright, there you go. Welcome to Skid Row, y'all. What street? There. That was a quick 360. That ain't even the half of it. there you go, y'all. I'm gonna end it there, but I gotta go to the courthouse. Well, actually, I might take you guys to the courthouse. Alright, I'll see you guys. Peace out.